Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Word Wondering. Today, we're going to be continuing our journey throughout the Holy Bible in Genesis chapter 21. Now, please go ahead, sit back, relax, and let us continue. Now, we have in Genesis chapter 21, the Lord has visited Sarah, right?
Genesis chapter 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him.
Now, wait a minute, everyone, before we continue. As I have read this chapter, right, since the beginning in Genesis chapter 1, we see that God, the Lord, all that he has said has all come to pass. And I believe as we continue to go throughout the Bible, we will also see that everything that God said will come to pass.
And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him.
100.
And Sarah said,
God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me.
And she said,
Who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age.
Now, wait a minute. We got Sarah being old herself and past childbearing age. And the Lord has said that he would visit Sarah and she would have a son, and it came to pass. And now she's laughing about the fact that she's an old woman, and also Abraham being old, and now she has a child. And that word giving children suck, which means that she will be actually breastfeeding this child, right? But why did you guys think that Sarah laughed? This was probably an amazing thing. And the truth of the matter is, it was. But this is not impossible for God, right? Let us continue.
And the child grew and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham,
Cast out this bondwoman and her son. For the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac.
And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham,
Let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad and because of thy bondwoman. In all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice. For in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed.
Now, wait a minute. We got the Lord speaking here, right? And back throughout that time and that custom in that generation, the Lord said, do not grieve about your other son, because we got Abraham grieving about his son that he had with Hagar, the Egyptian. But as I have read through most of this Bible already, it starts to come clear to me that the seed of Abraham, which is by Hagar, is in God's plan for the seed, which is the covenant with Isaac. And if you guys stay with me, you guys will see that as we continue throughout the Holy Bible.
And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread and a bottle of water, and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away. And she departed, and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bow shot. For she said,
Let me not see the death of the child.
And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice, and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad, and the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her,
What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation.
And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled the bottle with water, and gave the lad drink.
Now, do you see the power? Do you see the power of God? Like, it's like our eyes are closed. I mean, this woman couldn't see that there was a well there, right? Because she couldn't see. But God, as it says here, God opened her eyes. He opened her eyes. And maybe our eyes are closed, right? That we can't see certain things, right? Until God open our eyes that we may be able to see. This is the power of God. Can you understand the power of God?
And God was with the lad. And he grew and dwelt in the wilderness, and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abraham, saying,
God is with thee in all that thou doest. Now therefore swear unto me here by God that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned.
And Abraham said, I will swear. And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water, which Abimelech's servants had violently taken away. And Abimelech said,
I wot not who hath done this thing, neither didst thou tell me, neither yet heard I of it, but today.
And Abraham took sheep and oxen, and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. And Abimelech said unto Abraham,
What mean these 7 ewe lambs which thou hast set by themselves?
And he said,
For these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take of my hand, that they may be a witness unto me, that I have digged this well.
Wherefore he called that place Beersheba, because there they sware both of them. Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech rose up, and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, and they returned into the land of the Philistines. And Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned in the Philistines' land many days.
Well, I sign off, right? There are a few things that I want you guys to understand as we go throughout the Bible, right? The reason why I go throughout the Bible is because I'm trying to find out who God is, right? And as I continue to learn who God is, I also learn the love that God has for us. But that's not the only thing that I'm seeking for when I learn, as we go throughout the Holy Bible, right? I'm also trying to see the promises of God, because we already know that when God says something, what he says will come to pass. And then I try to realize what are the sins to be avoided, right? And then we look for examples to follow, right? And then we look for the commandments to be obeyed. And then we also try to look for something more about God. Now that we believe in what our Father say, we have complete trust in Him. We do not doubt Him. We have complete trust. That's why we can truly say within our hearts thy will be done. You cannot say that thy will be done, God, if you don't truly trust him, right? So now that we truly trust God and have faith in God and trust his will for our lives, right? We also become more and more and more like our Father, right? With that being said, to love others in the way that God loved us. Until next time, peace.